Welcome to the deep dive.
Oh,
All right, buckle up. What if I told you a major Wall Street player just dropped $250 million on a company you might not even know,
hmm
and it could be the next explosive play in crypto? You won't believe it.
yeah, we're talking about a company that went from mining Bitcoin, the old way,
Right.
to holding a staggering amount of Ethereum. And the numbers are truly eye-popping.
Today, we're taking a deep dive into Bitmine Immersion ticker BMNR. This isn't just a discussion, this is your report, giving you the full breakdown of why Wall Street bulls and Main Street beginners are watching this crypto treasury play very closely. You're with ChannelVest. This is your analysis. So this deep dive, it's designed to got through all the noise, give you the most important nuggets of knowledge from our latest analysis.
That's the goal.
Our mission is to make sure you feel truly well informed.
Absolutely. And we got to emphasize, this analysis combines AI-powered data mining, web research, expert market analysis, all that good stuff. It's for educational purposes only. This is not personalized investment advice.
Super important.
Always, always consult a licensed financial advisor before making any investment decisions. And remember, what happened in the past doesn't guarantee future results.
Okay, let's get into it. Bitmine Immersion Technologies, BMNR, started as a blockchain tech firm. Tell us about that original business.
That's right. BMNR, yeah, they originally focused on Bitcoin mining. But what made them a bit different was their proprietary immersion cooling technology.
Ah, the oil thing.
Exactly. Picture this. They'd submerge their ASIC miners, those specialized computer chips for mining, into this special dielectric oil.
Okay.
The idea was to cut operating expenses, cooling costs,
Right.
and boost efficiency.
Right, keep those machines running cooler and faster.
Precisely.
But here's where it gets really interesting. In 2025, they executed a strategic pivot, like a massive one,
Oh, yeah.
turning from a mining operation into an Ethereum treasury company. This is insane.
It was a radical shift, no doubt. They
Yeah.
basically followed a model similar to MicroStrategy's Bitcoin strategy.
Okay, I know that one.
But yeah, they did it with Ethereum instead.
Yeah.
So instead of mining, they just started acquiring and holding ETH.
Shedding the whole mining infrastructure burden, I guess.
Exactly. Less operational complexity, less capital expenditure on machines and energy. Just a direct bet on the asset itself.
So why Ethereum? What was going on in the bigger picture, the macro environment, that made ETH the target?
Well, there were several key factors kind of pushing Ethereum forward. For one, you started seeing more regulatory clarity.
That helps.
Definitely. Like the Genius Act, providing a framework for stablecoins. That could really boost demand for Ethereum as the main settlement layer, where all these transactions happen.
And the big money moving in. You won't believe this, my understanding is 86% of institutional investors now have some exposure to digital assets.
That's right. And nearly 60% plan to allocate over 5% of their assets under management to crypto.
Wow. So how does that help BMNR specifically?
Well, think about it. If you're a big institution wanting ETH exposure, a company holding a massive pile of ETH looks pretty attractive, right? It's a clearer, more direct way in for some.
Gotcha.
Plus, look at stablecoins. Their supply hit, $137.4 billion in Q2 2025?
Huge number.
And Ethereum is the backbone for nearly half of them. That drives activity, drives demand for the network.
Okay. And DeFi, decentralized finance, keeps growing too, right?
Absolutely. Ethereum's total value locked TVL surged 33% to $63.4 billion just in Q2 2025.
33%.
Yeah, and active loans jumped 43% to almost $24 billion. All this DeFi activity just reinforces Ethereum's importance. It all creates a pretty strong tailwind for a company betting big on ETH.
Speaking of strong, let's talk performance. BMNR's price chart is, well, something else. A staggering plus 566% return in just 6 months.
Yeah.
Compare that to the S&P 500, it's like plus 12% in the same period. Current price, $39.96 as of mid-July 2025.
Incredible returns, definitely. But hold on, you absolutely have to talk about the volatility.
Oh, yeah.
This stock has an annualized volatility of 1,055.6%. Let that sink in. 1,055%.
That's wild. That explains the crazy swings. Talk about a ride.
Exactly.
It saw a massive 135.7% intraday gain on July 3rd. That was after that huge private placement announcement. Stick around, because that's a story in itself.
It really is.
And when you put that 566% year-to-date next to other crypto miners, like Marathon Digital is up 25%, Iris Energy maybe 68%, BMNR just blows them away.
It's in a totally different league performance-wise, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Which naturally brings us to what Wall Street is saying.
Right, the analysts. What's the vibe there?
Well, consensus is leaning pretty bullish. About 65% are bullish, 25% are neutral, and only 10% are bearish.
Okay, so mostly positive. And I saw a quote from CoinDesk saying Tom Lee's involvement brings Wall Street credibility, potentially creating the MicroStrategy of Ethereum with significant upside if ETH prices rise. What's the deal with Tom Lee? Why is his name such a big factor?
Well, Tom Lee from Fundstrat. He's a known quantity in finance. He understands market cycles, institutional thinking. His involvement isn't just a name drop. It suggests maybe a strategic insight into how traditional finance might view this.
Okay.
Potentially opens doors for BMNR, gets them noticed by investors who might not look at other crypto plays.
Got it. But there are cautious voices, too. A strategist from CNBC mentioned extreme valuation metrics raise concerns.
Yes, that's the other side of the coin. The valuation is definitely stretched by traditional standards, but even that strategist admitted the pivot could benefit from stablecoin adoption, so it's nuanced.
Right, balancing the potential against the numbers.
Yeah.
And someone else flat out warned about the volatility, right? Calling it highly speculative.
Exactly. You just can't ignore that 1,055% annualized vol. It screams risk.
Which leads us perfectly to the big catalyst, that $250 million private placement. This is insane. Imagine that kind of capital flowing in.
It's a huge deal, $250 million.
Yeah.
And that investment translated directly into them holding 163,142 Ethereum, which, at current prices, is worth over $500 million. That's their treasury.
Over $500 million in ETH. And who are these investors putting up that kind of cash? You won't believe the names backing this play. Stick around.
Yeah, the list is pretty telling. We're talking Founders Fund, Venture Capital.
Peter Thiel's fund.
That's the one. Pantera Capital Crypto Fund, Galaxy Digital Crypto Bank, Mike Novogratz's outfit.
Okay, big crypto names.
Kraken Exchange, FalconX Trading Platform, Republic Digital Investment Platform. These aren't small fish. These are major players in VC and crypto. Their backing adds significant weight.
Definitely lends credibility. Okay, quick pause here. If you're finding this deep dive insightful, make sure to subscribe to ChannelVest on YouTube. We drop exclusive insights and real-time updates like this all the time. Don't miss out.
Good call. Now, back to BMNR. It's absolutely crucial for anyone looking at this to understand the risks. We talk volatility, but what else? Right. Well, obviously, Ethereum price volatility is number one. If ETH tanks, their treasury value tanks. Simple as that. Then there's regulatory risk. You know, governments could clamp down on crypto operations, stablecoins, whatever. That's always hanging out there.
Sure.
Execution risk. Can they actually manage this huge treasury effectively, especially through downturns? It's a new strategy for them. And market structure risks tied to that extreme volatility we keep mentioning.
So what does this all mean if things go sideways? Can we stress test this, put some numbers on those risks?
Yeah, we can run some basic scenarios. Let's say our base case is the current situation. ETH price holds, treasury stays around $500 million.
Okay.
Now, a bear case. Let's imagine ETH price gets cut in half, 50% drop. Suddenly, that $500 million treasury is only worth $250 million.
Ouch. Big difference.
Huge difference. But then the bull case. What if ETH doubles? 100% surge. Now you're looking at a treasury value of over $1 billion.
Wow. So it really amplifies Ethereum's moves.
Exactly. It's leveraged exposure, essentially.
Okay, so for you listening, what's the actionable takeaway? Who should even be looking at something like BMNR?
Right. This is really for growth investors, people with a high tolerance for risk, definitely not for the faint of heart.
Agreed.
We'd suggest thinking about a small position size, like 1% to 3% of your total portfolio max. And you need a long time horizon, 2-3 years minimum, maybe even dollar cost averaging in, given the swings.
And what about price levels? Any key technicals people should watch?
Well, based on our analysis, around the current price, $39.96, it's maybe whole oldie. Support seems to be around $38, could be a potential BUY there.
Okay.
Stronger support looks like $30, maybe a strong BUY if it gets there. On the upside, $61.50 looks like resistance, maybe trim a bit. Major resistance near $99.50 might reduce there. And the all-time high was $161. That'd be a potential sell zone.
Got it. Now, for maybe our beginners listening, let's make this super practical. We put together a checklist. Ask yourself these questions before touching BMNR.
Good idea.
1, can you afford to potentially lose 50, maybe even 80% of what you put in? Seriously.
Crucial question.
2, are you investing for at least 2 years, probably longer? 3, do you actually believe in Ethereum long-term? 4, Can your stomach handle extreme price swings without panicking?
Daily swings sometimes.
Exactly. And 5, is this investment 5% or less of your total portfolio? If the answer to any of these is no, BMNR might not be for you. Maybe look at an Ethereum spot ETF for cleaner ETH exposure instead.
That's solid advice. For the more experienced investors, things to track would be keep a close eye on that ETH treasury value, 163,142 ETH. That's the core asset.
Right.
Monitor the ETH per share ratio. How much ETH does each share actually represent? Evaluate any staking yield they might be getting. Are they putting that ETH to work?
Good point.
And definitely watch for more institutional flows. Are other big players following that initial $250 million?
Yeah.
That's a key signal. And actually, this brings up a good question for everyone listening. What key metrics are you monitoring in the crypto space right now? Let us know in the comments. We'd love to hear your perspective.
Yeah, definitely comment below. Okay, let's recap. Why might someone consider BMNR?
Okay, the bull case.
You get pure play exposure to Ethereum's price. They hold a lot of ETH, over $500 million worth right now. You've got strong institutional backing, Founders Fund, Pantera, Galaxy. Tom Lee's involvement adds Wall Street cred, and they're positioned to maybe benefit from stablecoin growth and more institutions coming into crypto.
That sums up the potential upside pretty well.
Yeah.
But the caution signs. Let's be crystal clear here.
Okay, the risks.
What's fascinating, and maybe worrying, is the extreme valuation. Trading at over 300 times sales, a $1.64 billion market cap on just $5.45 million in revenue. That's rich.
Yeah, 300 times sales is a number that jumps out. And let's not forget, I know we keep saying it, but it matters, that unprecedented volatility.
Yeah.
1,055.6% annualized.
Right.
Multiple trading halts, single-day drops of nearly 45%. This thing moves like crazy. It's highly speculative.
And added that, the execution risk managing that treasury through thick and thin, plus the ever-present regulatory risks.
It's a complex picture.
Definitely. So if we step back and connect this to the bigger picture, BMNR's really build pivot, it kind of asks a fundamental question, doesn't it?
Which is
this MicroStrategy of Ethereum model truly the blueprint for the next wave of crypto-native companies? Or is it just a really high-stakes gamble on a market that's still, finding its long-term footing?
That's something to chew on as you navigate this dynamic market. It's truly a fascinating play, no matter how you slice it. And that's our deep dive into Bitmine Immersion, BMNR. We really hope this analysis gave you the clarity and the insight you need to feel truly well-informed on this incredible story.
Yeah, remember, informed investors tend to make better decisions. Knowledge is key here.
Absolutely. For real-time updates, more in-depth analysis on high-potential crypto investments like this one, make sure you follow and subscribe to @ChannelVest. Don't miss out on what's next. Until our next deep dive, keep learning, stay curious, and navigate the markets wisely.